All right, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Cece Says, my weekly Facebook Live series, where we discuss concepts and ideas that help us be happy, healthy, and whole. So make sure you drop hello in the chat for me so I know who's here. So y'all, last week I made a brief appearance. I wasn't before you long. It was a shorter one because I was coming off of a few rough days. And during my brief appearance, we discussed the importance of connecting with others and having a good support system and having people around you that will lift you up when you're down, right? This week, I'm so excited to talk about this concept: open your mouth and speak. Okay. Now, depending on who's saying it, it could mean different things. Okay. So for the people that's in here, I see I got three folks on. Hey, Bri. Hey, Kevin. So for the people that's here, tell me what you think it means when you hear someone say, open your mouth and speak. What does that sentence mean to you all? Okay, so drop that in the chat. We're going to do a lot of back and forth tonight because I want a lot of conversation. So drop in the chat what you think it means when someone says, open your mouth and speak. And while you all do that, I'm actually going to tell you what it has meant to me in the past when I've heard it. So when I was younger, like probably around preteen, teenage years, and I would be in my feelings sometimes, right? I would have the nerve to come into a space and not speak. Not that I had to be upset with the people that was in the space, but you're young, hormones are going everywhere. You upset about this, upset about that. And so sometimes I would walk into a space and not speak. And if my mom or my dad were around, anywhere close by, they would very quickly say, open your mouth and speak. And so what they were saying in that moment, one, you've been raised right. And two, we raise you to acknowledge others. You're Southern, you're polite. And so in that instance, the phrase represented politeness and procedure. Okay. Now, there were other times, again, mostly in my youth, where maybe I was in my feelings and I was engaged in a conversation. And so, side note, y'all notice that both of these examples were me being in my feelings, right? Just a little note for the parents. Parents, please try to remember when your kids are in their feelings and maybe they got a little attitude and they not talking like they usually talk, or you can tell something a little off with them. Remember when you were their age. Remember what it felt like to be in your feelings and for your hormones to be going all over the place, and show your kids some grace, okay? Because we've all been there. But in this situation, right, in my feelings, in a conversation, and someone, usually, someone in the family would say, what's wrong with you? And I would shrug, with a little attitude. And it never failed. Somebody would say, open your mouth and speak. And so in that situation, the message was, use your words to express yourself. Give us the information we need so that we can help you. Okay. So let me see what y'all put in the chat. So Kevin said communicate. Definitely. Open your mouth and speak. Definitely says communicate. And Brian said advocate for yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. My brother said I told my neighbor and giggling. So yes, that is something else that our folks used to say. That's a long story. I'll come back to that one. But definitely, open your mouth and speak can mean a lot of different things. Tonight, what I want to talk to you all about is what it has meant to me recently. Okay. So if you saw my live from last week, I had a rough week last week. And Jesus sent some awesome folks to check on me, to encourage me. But while I was doing my own praying, right, I was asking God for help. And I was also asking Him to help me understand what I was supposed to be learning from this situation and which way I was supposed to go next. And y'all know what one of the things He told me, one of the things I heard really clearly? You probably guessed it. Open your mouth and speak. So, y'all, once again, I was in my feelings. I had the urge to retreat, right? Just kind of withdraw, give up on some stuff, be quiet, and just kind of wait on God to fix the situation. But what I heard Him say was, open your mouth and speak. And this time, what the statement meant was, speak that which you know to be true, even when you can't see it. So that's what I want to share with y'all tonight. When the situation doesn't look like what you thought it would, when it's not working out the way you thought it should, even when you are doubting yourself, open your mouth and speak. Speak to the situation. Speak to the doubt. Speak to the negative thoughts. Speak that which you know is true, even though in the moment you can't see it. Speak the message that's been placed on the inside of you. Okay. And so for a few minutes, I just want to talk to you all about what happens when we open our mouth and when we speak. Okay. So one, we're exercising our faith and giving ourselves some hope. When we speak that which we know to be true, even when we can't see it, we are practicing walking by faith. And we're also giving ourselves something to look forward to because we know it's going to come to pass, right? We are saying that we have enough belief in what we know that we are willing to speak it, even though it's not right there in front of us. Our eyes can't see it, but we still know it. And it's one thing, y'all, for us to know it, but a lot of times we'll keep it to ourselves. We won't speak it out loud because we don't have any proof. Anybody ever been there? If you've been there, drop it in the chat. If you've ever held on to something that you knew was coming, something that you was really excited about, but you held on to it, you ain't say it out loud because you ain't have any proof, drop me in the chat. Yeah. Hey, sis, you said I was speaking to you? Yeah, sis, this one is for everybody tonight. So y'all might have noticed I tagged a lot of people in this live. It's because God told me this message is for a lot of folks tonight. So I wanted a lot of folks to hear this. Okay. Now, y'all, your faith is on another level when you can bring out your mouth boldly what you don't have evidence for. Think about that. Because a lot of times we will care so much about what other people think. We will care so much about whether or not we're going to look stupid, right? Or are we wrong? We will care so much about that y'all, we will hold on to something that's almost bursting out of us because we don't have proof for it. And I was talking to somebody earlier this week, and I've actually, I think, heard it from a number of places. So I knew I was supposed to share it with y'all tonight. But we were talking about Noah. And so everybody that I can see on here, I know y'all know the Lord. But for people that might not know the Bible, right, might not know the Lord, Noah is one of the people in the Bible, and he was given the job, the task of building an ark because God said that there was going to be a great flood. Do y'all know what type of faith it takes for somebody to build a boat when there has not been any rain and no one has ever needed a boat before? Like, just think about that. Somebody said earlier this week, they said it had to have come from God. There were no specifications laying around. There weren't no blueprints laying around anywhere because nobody had needed an ark before. So he had to have enough faith to not only believe it, not only say it, because he spoke it, but then he also had to do it. And that brings me to my second point. When we open our mouth and speak, we increase the likelihood that we will engage in behaviors that are in line with what we believe. Okay. So y'all know I'm a psychologist. Research is important to me. So I wanted to give y'all some research. Research has shown that talking to yourself out loud, so again, opening your mouth and speaking, can motivate you to move forward with your goals. It helps you focus on the task at hand, and it also combats self criticism. And one of the reasons why is because you're concentrating on what you have to do when you open your mouth and speak. You can improve your retention of information, so your memory actually can get better, and you improve your performance. So there are studies that have shown where they gave subjects a task to do, and they had some people actually call out the thing that they were looking for while they were looking for it, right? And they had another set of people that were looking for the same thing, but they didn't call it by name. What y'all think happened? The folks that spoke it, called it by name, those people actually found what they were looking for faster. Okay. So, side note, calling something by name is a whole word. Y'all, that's a whole sermon for one of y'all preachers out there. Y'all going to preach that. You have to call stuff by name. Okay, but I digress. Let me go back. So, studies have also shown that athletes who recite positive statements about themselves, affirmations, right, positive thinking that they have now put into words, they perform better than athletes who don't. Why? Because they are speaking that which they know to be true, and they're focused. They're not getting distracted by the stuff that's happening around them. They're not getting distracted by the negative thoughts that might be coming from the inside. So when we focus on that which we know to be true, even when we can't see it, we can more successfully work towards our goals. And I see y'all in the chat. Y'all come on, praise him with me. Now, y'all, my last point is real important to me, okay? When we open our mouths and speak, we are helping other people do the same. And so anybody that knows me knows I really enjoy helping other folks get to where they're trying to go, right? So when we are speaking to our situations, when we are encouraging ourselves out loud, when we are reminding us ourselves of who we are and whose we are, we can encourage and inspire other folks just from them witnessing what we're doing. Because whether y'all know it or not, there's somebody watching you. It might be your little one. It might be another family member, a friend, your spouse, a mentee at work. There is someone looking at you, looking up to you, and watching how you handle situations. So when you open your mouth and speak, when you speak to that problem, when you speak to the situation, when you speak to your own self-doubt, you can also motivate other people to do the same. So y'all, what are some things that we can speak? I want y'all to start dropping some things in the chat. What are some things that you speak over yourself? What are some things that you say out loud to encourage yourself? Y'all start dropping them. And I'm going to tell y'all some things that if you aren't already doing it, it's some things that you can speak. Okay. One is the word of God. You can always speak the word of God out loud on purpose, right? So for one, what God says about us, we're the head and not the tail. We are blessed coming in and going out. We can speak what the word says about God. He will never leave us nor forsake us. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. We can also speak what the word says about difficult situations. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. All my help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. My mama taught me that one when I was younger. And so I hold that one real close to me. Yeah, we can also speak affirmations. That's those positive statements, and we talked about them on Dr. CC Says before. But those are those positive statements that help us remember our awesomeness. My favorite affirmation is, there's no one who can do what I do the way I do it. And that's my magic. All right. Third thing, you can speak your goals and your dreams. So, research shows us that we are more likely to work towards our goals when we focus on them and when we speak them out loud, right? Because we're not getting distracted by other things. We're able to focus. And so, I know a lot of people would tell you you can't share your goals and your dreams with everybody. That's probably true, right? Make sure you have good folks around you. So going back to my talk from last week with connection, make sure that you connected with the right folks, because when you speak, other people should be in alignment with you, speaking what you're speaking. So make sure you got those types of folks around you. Okay. So let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Yeah, my line sister sound preaching. Yes, sis. I'm feeling it tonight. Yeah. So Kevin says he speaks prosperity and strength. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, Jay, that was her favorite Bible verse. She taught both of us that one. Yeah. Y'all drop some more. Tell me what y'all speak. What Bible verses do you speak? What affirmation do you say? Drop them so everybody can be blessed. Okay. And if there's a dream that you're speaking and you want to share it, drop it in the chat because we will speak it right along with you. So feel free to drop stuff. I will share some of the things. So I told y'all my favorite affirmation. So one of my favorite Bible verses, besides all the ones that my mom loves, but one of my favorites is actually, it comes out of Romans. And so what that one says is all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. And so I speak that one when things don't look like they working out. I have to speak that one because that's encouraging to me. Because no matter what it looks like, I know in the end, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. And I surely love him. And I'm surely called according to his purpose. So that's one that helps me out. Y'all tell me which ones y'all speaking. Let's see. I'm going back and reading some of the comments. Hey, y'all. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Shalonda. All right. Okay, come on, Kendra. I belong in the rooms God has placed me in. Yeah, even sometimes when I may doubt it. Come on, sis. Yeah. Yeah, Jay said, but joy comes in the morning. I knew that was one of yours. Yeah. Yeah, and the rest of that for you all that don't know, the rest of that scripture that Jay is talking about, it says weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. And y'all, morning don't always mean that next morning. Sometimes, that night time it lasts a little bit. But don't worry, joy coming. I promise you it is. Yeah, Danielle said I say something positive like I'm going to have a good day. Yeah. Y'all, that sounds so simple, but it's so powerful because again, when we're bringing it out of our mouth, we are letting God know and we're letting everything around us know. This is how much faith I have. I have faith that what I say will come to pass, not because of my power, but because of the power that God has given me. So I really can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah, that's another one of mine. Yeah. Now, Nicole, you telling me to come on and teach the people. Nicole is the minister. Nicole is the one that can come on and preach it. Yeah. Kevin said, I often remind myself to focus on what you can affect. I like that. Yeah, because y'all, everything's not within our power. And we know we get power from God. God also doesn't mean for us to touch everything. Everything is not for us to touch. So we need to concentrate on that which he has given us charge over. And in order to know that, right, we have to pay attention. We have to listen and get our assignment. So, one of my uncles used to love to say, stay in your lane, right? So we have to make sure that we are doing those things that God has called us to do in our lane. So definitely focus on what you can affect. Yeah. All right. Nicole, you say I got it. Okay. So, y'all, it's another part of this that I wanted everybody to think about. So, y'all keep on dropping them because these are good. When you speak, right, you might want to speak these things Open your mouth and speak, right, to folks who are in your circle. So, like we talked about, you need to have some folks that will speak what you speak. You need to have some folks that will speak life to your situation. All right. So, I want to know, who do y'all have that will speak life with you? Who do you have when you call and you say, girl, God gave me this. He gave me this desire to do so and so and so. And they said, well, girl, what you need from me? You need me to pray? I'm praying. You need me to fast? What you need me to do? Who do y'all have like that? You can drop their name in the chat if you want. As a matter of fact, what I really want y'all to do, go ahead and tag them in this video so they can see it. Now, if it's me, because I know my husband is on here, so he would probably say me. If it's me, tag somebody else, right? Because I'm already here. But think about who you have. Tag them. One, so they know that they're your person. And two, so they can hear this word as well. All right. Oh, Danielle said her mama. Yes. Mamas are awesome for that. Yeah. Now, Terry, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Yes, that's an awesome one, Terry. Yeah. Okay, Terry said her adult daughters and her husband, not on Facebook. Yeah. So mine, I've already tagged all mine. They tagged in the in the live, but definitely my husband, my brother, my best friends. I even have people that started off as work friends that are now family to me, really, right? And so I have been blessed to have a really good group of people who will speak life with me. And y'all, guess what else? When I try to speak anything other than life, they will correct me. So that's a whole nother blessing, right? It's one thing for folks to feel how you feeling and be, empathetic and try to be there with you. But you need some folks that'll also pull you back out when you've been in that place for too long, right? So I thank God that I got some folks in my life that'll say, okay, now, look, okay, sis, okay, babe, it's time for you to get on back up, right? And open your mouth and speak. So, like I said, y'all, I tagged a few folks in this live because these are some folks that I know that have been opening their mouth and speaking. And I wanted to encourage them to continue to do just that. And I want to encourage everybody else on here as well, whether you're watching it live or whether you're going to see the replay. If you have not been opening your mouth and speaking that which you believe out loud, I encourage you to start doing it. Start working to say those things out loud because we know it'll be beneficial to you as well as to everyone around you. All right. All right. So, y'all, I'm going to get ready to end for tonight. I wanted to remind you all, if you didn't know, and if you did know, remind you that on Friday, July 1st at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am conducting a virtual workshop called Lean Into Your Magic. And so we are going to be talking about the things that make you who you are and how you walk boldly in your awesomeness. Y'all, it's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. And I'm excited to be able to interact with people in a different way, right? Like my Facebook lives are awesome and I get to see you all's comments. But when it's a workshop, I get to interact and actually talk to you and have you talk back to me. And so I am really excited. The workshop is free, but registration is required. So I've included the link for registration in the description of this live, and I'll also drop it in the chat once I end the live. All right. Just looking just to see. Oh, all right. I see who my brother tagged. Yeah, those are definitely your folks. Yeah. All right. So you all have an awesome night. Remember, open your mouth and speak. You are not only going to bless yourself, you're going to bless some other folks too. Okay. Y'all stay safe. Be blessed. I will see you back here next week. Same time, same place.